Guys, I had to hop on here with a hot take. I'm sorry if some of you women hate me after this, but here we go. Let's do it. So I just got married about a month ago, and now I keep getting asked when I'm thinking babies are gonna come. And I keep replying that babies will come once we are financially stable enough to be a stay-at-home mom. That is literally the reply that I'm getting from everyone. Everyone gasps. Can you believe that in today's society, it is like crazy and awful to want to be a stay-at-home mom and to raise your children?
You can't make this shit up.
In the great words of Ben Shapiro, I do not understand for the life of me why we are telling women that their best and greatest superpower of creating human beings from their own body is less important than working.
You stupid.
Personally, I don't think work is more important than raising the future generation of the children that you brought into this world from your own body and to bring them up into society. I'm not saying that you can't choose whether or not you want to work or be a stay-at-home mom. If you want to work while being a mom, all the power to you. However, what I am saying is do not belittle the women that want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Ain't nobody got time for
This is what I hate about modern day radical feminism. If you are going to indoctrinate women into believing that work is more important than spending time with their own children, I don't understand. Can someone please explain that to me? What I will say is that there is not one single person that has been on their deathbed and said, I wish I worked another day in my life.
Nope.
In fact, majority of people say that they wish that they spent more time with their family and the ones that they loved.
Yep.
Sorry if you guys hate me now after this. I guess you can say I'm anti-feminism, I'm anti-feminist, but I am pro-woman, so sorry if you hate me.
How Feminism Fails Women, Part 2. I've seen feminism be extremely disingenuous when talking about women's issues. They say that we don't have the same rights as men. I would like to hear one right that women don't have that men do. People will often bring up the wage gap, and yes, the wage gap is true to an extent. Overall, women make less than men in America. It is not because of some massive conspiracy that the patriarchy is scheming behind our backs. When all studies are taken into account, women are shown to make about 99 cents to the man's dollar. And that is within the margin of error. A few of the factors that I'm referencing are that women don't demand raises as frequently. Women tend to work less hours. Women go into different fields than men that tend to pay less. And then people will say to me, it's the patriarchy that's causing women to go into these fields. Have you ever just thought that men and women have different interests? Women tend to be a lot more nurturing and caring, which is why a lot more women go into things like teaching. Women are more creative and are better communicators than men, which is why we go into fields like advertising or communications. Men are better at analytical things, which is why there's more engineers. And that's not the patriarchy, that is human nature.
Why feminism is toxic for relationships. Reason number 1. Feminism tries to convince you that everything you love about men is toxic, and so you go through the world suppressing your natural attraction to a man who is a leader, who is strong, who is confident, who is assertive, and you go for males that are very feminine. Then when you get drunk, you look for the first asshole who also has the masculine qualities but is a really great idiot. And because you're so deprived of these qualities in your life, of the masculine energy, you just jump on him like he's a drug for you. And then the next day you just feel...
I know I'm gonna get hate for this, but this is just my opinion. There's no right or wrong answer, just my opinion. My man works very hard. When he comes home from work, I want him to have nothing to do at home. He should just relax. The house is clean, dinner is cooked, the kids are getting ready for bed. And then he gets to come home and spend quality time with his kids, rather than worrying about what kind of chores need to be done. Of course he still takes the trash out, and he does things when I ask, but I really just don't like to ask, because he should come home and relax.
I regret being I'm grateful for the ability to control my reproductive cycle and make my own money, but that freedom has come at a price. The dark side of the sexual revolution is that even though it liberated women, unyoking sex from the consequences has primarily benefited men. But if I'm honest with myself, of the dozens of men I've been with, at least the ones I remember, I can only think of a handful I don't regret. The rest I would put in the category of casual, which I would define as sex that is either meaningless or mediocre or both.
She belongs to the street.
If I get really honest with myself, I'd say most of these usually drunken encounters left me feeling empty and demoralized and worthless.
You lose.
I wouldn't have said that at the time though. At the time, I would have told you I was liberated, even while I tried to drink away the sick feeling of rejection while my most recent hookup didn't call me back. At the time, I would have said one-night stands made me feel emboldened. But in reality, I was using sex like a drug, trying unsuccessfully to fill a hole inside me with men. Pun intended. I know regretting most of my sexual encounters is not something a sex-positive feminist who used to write a column for Playboy is supposed to admit. And for years, I didn't. Let me be clear. Being a slut and sleeping with a lot of men is not the only behavior I regret. Even more damaging was what I told myself in order to justify the fact that I was disposable to these men. I told myself I didn't care. I didn't care when a man ghosted me. I didn't care when he left in the middle of the night or hinted that he wanted me to leave. The walks of shame, the blackouts, the anxiety. The lie I told myself for decades was, I'm not in pain, I'm empowered. I knew it would be hard to read this.
Feminism is not a black woman's fight. It's the most stupidest fight I've ever heard black women say that they want to fight. Let me tell you why. Sisters, who are you trying to be equal to? Are you trying to be equal to black men? Because last time I checked, we were. See, the white woman is out here fighting to have equality with her husband. Like, she wants equality with Tom, but she's still going home to Tom. She want to make as much money as Tom so she can just bring more money into the collective home along with Tom's money, but she ain't leaving Tom for this equality. See, somehow feminism equates to black women being independent and we don't need no man. See, feminism is something completely different for us, right? But it says you want to have equality and be put on the same level as men. We sound stupid as black women saying that shit. You know why? Because you are equal to black men. You're equally as oppressed. You're equally as not able to get a fucking chance to get nothing when you're competing with white people. You're just as equal to be called a... You're just as equal to be treated like trash. You're most likely to be taken into sex trafficking. You're most likely to be harassed by the police and because nobody will believe you. You are the one group of women that they will tell you that they look at as victims because people don't give a about black women. So if you go missing, they don't come looking for you. Go look at the numbers. Black girls are missing more than anybody else. Black girls are taken into sex trafficking more than anybody else. Black women are assaulted sexually by police officers more than anybody else because nobody believes black women. What the equality are you fighting for? Black women are dying out in these streets just like these brothers. Stand your bland. Right? Whoring games. What inequality do you want with black men that you don't already have? Am I missing something, sisters? So you're fighting with a woman and groups of women, right? Not just white women, but groups of women that you are asking for equality that you can't receive when it comes to their men because this is the crazy thing, right? It's the irony in it all. You're worried about being equal if you walk into the room when it comes to a job or pay or different things with white men. You do know if you erase the white man from the equation and you find yourself sisters in a corporate position and you're sitting somewhere and it's you and Becky, is you and Maria, is you and another Asian woman, trust me, they're going to pick them over you. So how the are you fighting for equality with white women who should be equal to what, men? White men being the standard in this country? You're not equal to the you standing next to claiming you fighting. You're not equal to her. Are you fighting a fight when you ain't even on the same playing field as the chick you fighting with? Black people are always trying to fight for somebody else's rights. All this feminist ain't gonna do nothing but give non-black women the ability to make more money, be seen in all of these different things, get all of these different opportunities, and all it equates for black women is we don't need our men, we don't need them around, we don't need independent ones, we can pay all our bills, what we need a man for in this. This is what it equates. So feminism destroys the black community. While it just gives more benefit to the white community because their households are intact more. And so when the white woman becomes equal, her household just gains more from it. Feminism makes the black community lose. We are just as equally as oppressed as black men. You are equal to your men. Stop trying to be equal to somebody else's man. And you ain't a goddamn man, so what the do we mean by equality? We don't let the white woman f her head all up. That's their standards, not ours, okay?